There have been new changes in the Ripple class action lawsuit that have caused whales to gather more than 48 million currencies. Because of what has happened, this is what has happened. This is the result of the most recent events. Because of what had happened up to this point, something happened. As of right now, this has directly caused the price of XRP to rise by 8%. There is one more case where Ripple Labs, the group that helps with this cryptocurrency, has done something that has made people all over the market raise their eyebrows. Whales have now gathered more than 48 million XRP to be ready for the market's comeback, which is expected to send prices back up. Most people think that the rising momentum will happen after the market has returned from its current state of stagnation. Timelines for how the disagreement will be solved in the future have made people feel better about their good feelings. The settlement order that Judge Phyllis Hamilton made in the Ripple case also had an effect on these dates. Both of these things about the decision meant that it was taken into account when making these schedules, which led to an improvement. Things have gotten better. This improvement came about because of the increase, brought out as an extra interesting point. People who follow the market have noticed that there is more talk now that something has happened with Ripple's currency. After recent events, this assumption was made. These events led to the creation of this theory. These recent events have led to this theory. Do not forget about these events taking place in various parts of the world. With this in mind, let's look at what has happened so far. As of July 26th, Judge Phyllis Hamilton has given the parties until that date to file a notice that says if they still want to exclude the evidence of 4 experts. Because of recent events, this limit was put in place. It is the law that the notice must include the information that they want to keep. You should be aware that this date has now been met because it is very important to remember this. You should remember this. Also around the same time, the case Sakhanov had made against Ripple Labs was brought before Magistrate Judge Robert Ullman to settle the disagreement between the two sides. When thinking about the programmatic sales, it is very important to remember that Judge Hamilton agreed with Judge Torres's summary ruling that the asset in question was not a security. Always keep this in mind. Remember that this is the most important thing to remember. This one piece of knowledge about the problem must be kept in mind at all times. Because of this court decision, whales have started doing things to keep a big chunk of Wave's money for themselves. A watcher with the name Whale Alert said that 2 whales were able to buy 48.13 million tokens from Binance the day before. The whales themselves gave us this information. Information like this came from the tracker, who was the one who gave it. This kind of information came from the tracker, who was in charge of giving it. The whale wallet address made it possible to use the exchange, which was used to get a total of 24.29 million coins, worth $14.52 million. The trade was used to make this happen. The way that this was done was through the cost of the trade. All the available information was carefully looked over, and it became clear that the address was the one who bought 23.84 million coins, which is about $13.77 million. Taking all of this into account, it is very important that you know that Judge Analysts of Taurus has not yet given the ruling that would allow the case to move forward. We can't say enough about how important this is. People around the world who are interested in cryptocurrencies can't wait to hear good news about XRP now that Ripple's court case is over. This is because all of Ripple's formal steps have been taken. According to what they said, this is something they are very excited to hear because of the deals that were talked about earlier. During this time, the value of the coin went up a lot. This increase in value happened because more people wanted to buy because of those deals. The public learned about the results of the investigation because of the results of the investigation. Because of the big changes that have been seen in the XRP ledger, these changes may be what caused this phenomenon. Not only that, but the relative strength index stayed at 66, which added to the opinion that the value of the currency was going up. This was a good sign. At the same time, this happened at the same time. Recently, things have changed in the legal system, and the price of the currency has been going up. This piece of XRP news should make people feel hopeful. Since the law system has recently gone through a lot of changes, this is both common and a good thing. It also speeds up growth and makes it possible to make purchases in the future. To put it another way, it is a good move. The public learned about the results of the investigation because of the results of the investigation. Because of the big changes that have been made to the XRP ledger, it's likely that these changes are what caused this situation. In addition, the relative strength measure stayed at 66, which added to the feeling that the currency was doing well. This was a good move. At the same time, this happened at the same time. This piece of XRP news should make people feel hopeful, especially since the price of the currency has been going up and the political situation has recently changed. Since the legal system has recently gone through a lot of changes, this is both a common and a good development. It also speeds up growth and makes it possible to make purchases in the future. To put it another way, it is a good move. According to the data provided by kwon, the open interest in the currency's futures contracts increased by 7.77%, which brought the total amount of money invested in the contracts to $804.11 million. The reason for this rise was that there was more open interest. This information was received during the increase. This happened because of the raise that was put in place. Over $3.71 billion worth of swaps were added, which is more than what was expected. This was the first thing that came to mind. It means that there was an increase of 1.38% between the level that was there before and the level that is now there. At the time this piece was written, these numbers showed that the market for the digital asset was growing, especially since the price was going up.